CARECEN SF has been serving the San Francisco Bay Area immigrant community for 33 years, providing immigration legal services through our Immigration Legal Program, case management and mentorship through our Second Chance Youth Program, free tattoo removal services to young people ages 13 to 25 through our Tattoo Removal Clinic, system navigation and family therapy are offered through our Family Wellness Program, as well as healthy eating and active living are taught through our Health Promotion Program. Each year, between 6,000 and 7,000 people walk through CARECEN SF stores seeking our services. We are proud of the work that we do and live by our core pillars, which are a commitment to excellence in social services, advocacy for immigrant rights, juvenile justice, and Latino health, and a transnational vision for our people to thrive and live in peace, both in our countries of origin and in the United States. Since early 2019, CARECEN has been involved in the following case.
So today, as part of the Migrant Protection Protocol representation team, Laura Sanchez and I presented ourselves with our client at the border. We presented at the port of entry here in San Ysidro. You can hear the construction in the background. And we had a notice for our client to appear in immigration court today, the 19th of March, 2019. Unfortunately, the court had another plan. They have a hearing scheduled for tomorrow.
And then we were told we would have to wait because we had to wait for Mexico to accept our client back. This started at 9 and we weren't allowed to leave until about 5-ish. The end result was those 3 individuals that tried to comply ended up getting detained overnight, and they remain detained until they go to court tomorrow. Today didn't have to happen. I think the problem is from the beginning all of this is wrong. The incorrect court date, the only reason our client knows that his court date was incorrect is because he has attorneys. If he didn't have an attorney, he wouldn't know there was an incorrect court date. That's the same thing for the other 2 individuals. The fact that we were waiting for 9 hours, our client's not allowed to either go into the United States or be returned to Mexico, that's also problematic. They're just waiting there for hours. If it's true that there's an issue within Mexico in the sense of how they're receiving these individuals versus our government, that's also a problem. They've implemented this program, but they still don't even know how to actually put it into practice. And again, these are what we saw today and witnessed today were individuals with attorneys. I can't even imagine individuals that don't even have attorneys. This is completely confusing for us. It's frustrating, it's infuriating, and this is us who we know immigration law. I can't imagine someone going at it alone.
So MPP stands for the Migrant Protection Protocol. It's a new policy created by the Trump administration to basically force asylum seekers from Central America to return to Mexico while their asylum cases are processed. This policy is really terrible for several reasons, but most importantly because it violates U.S. law and regulations which allow asylum seekers to receive a credible fear interview. So unfortunately, our client has had to remain in Tijuana while his case is pending. It makes it very difficult to represent an individual who is not in the United States. What it forces individuals to do is that if they want to apply for asylum, they have to remain in Mexico while they're waiting for their case to proceed. So that has several problems in terms of preparation of their asylum case, the right to counsel. It's problematic because many people are ill, many people do not have work or are not work authorized in Mexico. People are often in dangerous situations in Mexico. Right now in Tijuana, there's significantly higher crime rates than within the United States. People aren't authorized to work. They don't have housing or other basic services. And so by forcing and externalizing the border here, they are essentially punishing asylum seekers under the MPP policy.
It's incredibly problematic. That means these individuals have to find representation that is willing to travel to Mexico to do representation. As CARECEN or staff are trained, there's the whole logistical nightmare of figuring how to do that. I spent 2.5 to 3 hours in a pro copiadora place doing copies and printing and whatnot because I have to do this work from Mexico. I don't have the liberty and the privilege of doing it from my office. And it's just, and this is not even the beginning of the case. You're talking about having access to experts. People, ideally, people are getting evaluations. There's testimony. There's all this prep work that has to be done. And I can't even imagine how the logistics will be done in another country of origin.
So a lot of asylum seekers are fleeing from situations in their home country where there might be individuals or even governments searching for them. And by forcing asylum seekers to remain in Tijuana across the border from the United States while their hearings are pending, they're creating a situation in which governments and individuals who may want to find someone would know exactly where to look. It's really putting lives in danger. It's putting people's lives in danger, and it's not a responsible way to conduct the asylum process, and it's not in accordance with U.S. law.
I really think this program was set up to have these individuals fail in with this immigration process.
There's a lawsuit pending that was filed by the ACLU, the Southern Poverty Law Center, Center for Gender Refugee Studies, and other plaintiffs. CARECEN is a co-plaintiff in that lawsuit, and we're representing one of 11 individuals who are applying for asylum under the Migrant Protection Protocol. And through that lawsuit, we're going to be demonstrating not only how that's affected our client, how it's harmed him personally, and how it's jeopardizing his life, but also how it has affected us as pro bono representatives who provide legal counsel to asylum seekers, and how it harms the agencies and the individuals who do this work. So this is harmful not only to the individuals who are seeking asylum, but also to the attorneys who provide the services. In early April, the ACLU, representing 11 co-plaintiffs, one of whom was represented by the Central American Resource Center, had a court hearing in the Federal District Court of Northern California, right here in San Francisco. And in that hearing, the federal judge issued an injunction blocking the Migrant Protection Protocol from continuing in effect. What that did is effectively stop the federal government from sending asylum seekers back to Mexico, forcing them to return while they await their day in court.
Yesterday, the Ninth Circuit of Appeals stayed the injunction that had been issued by the district court, which basically means the Migrant Protection Protocol policy will continue while this is being litigated in the courts. This affects MPP as MPP will continue to be rolled out. I believe the last estimates were it has been implemented on 3,000 people. My assumption is that will continue to be implemented on thousands more in the future while this is being litigated in the courts. Receiving this decision, it is frustrating. It hurt, in honesty, for those that have had the opportunity to go in Tijuana and see what, and meet with those that have been affected by MPP. We are well aware of the dire conditions that these individuals have to live in while they wait their removal proceedings. Well, it's been severely expanded across the borders, different border regions. It's been implemented, it's been imposed on about 20,000 people, individuals that have been seeking some type of protection from our country. We are told by advocates and partners that are working within those communities that on a daily basis, hundreds of people are being returned back to border towns in Mexico. I think one thing that has been inspiring in this very difficult era to work in, especially within this program, is I'm amazed by what advocates have been doing. I've seen advocates, including attorneys or non-attorneys, going to the border region, trying to figure out what type of resources and support that they can provide to these thousands and thousands of people, and trying to figure out how to navigate the system while we're forced to live with it. And so in that sense, it is inspiring and it is hopeful, and it makes me realize that we're not in this fight alone.